I've just come back from a role-playing game where I was confronted by what I was told was a ghoul. No nose. It could have worn a cowboy hat from Fallout. So we all know what we're talking about. But that wasn't a ghoul. Or was it? Because if the dungeon master and all the other players say that's a ghoul, who am I to argue? But it wasn't a ghoul. A ghoul is a mythical creature from the desert. And somewhere along the way, we've lost what things really are. Now, my question to you is, does that matter? See, I think we've taken something ancient and unsettling, and we've just made it into any other creature. It might be slightly stronger, it might be a bit weaker, but we find them in caves and dungeons. We find them on tropical islands, which is where I encountered what I encountered. We find them in ruined castles. No. I understand that we have to simplify. I understand that we have to standardise. But why do we have to standardise something that somebody else has made up? Why can't we standardise the mythical truth behind what is a more fascinating a creature than it has become? The Ghul, as opposed to the Ghoul, is a mystical creature of the desert from as an Arabic mythology, very often linked to jinns, almost seen as a corruption of a jinn, and sometimes even talked about as Ghoul being a way of behaving rather than it being a creature. A bit like, if you look at the goblin video I did, a bit like some goblins. The Ghoul is far more terrifying and difficult to spot than some bloke with no nose plodding towards you. Whether he can speak or not is irrelevant. They look for people in deserts who are struggling. They're picking off the weak. They don't come charging towards you. They cause a different sort of terror. They will appear in different guises. They can almost shapeshift. Perhaps they can shapeshift. And they will appear as a friend, maybe even offer you water, persuade you to go with them further into the desert, further away from safety, until it's finally too late, and then, like a vulture, they strike. It lures, it mimics, it draws you into places that are more and more terrifying as you become weaker and weaker. And that is where the real terror of the ghoul emerges. What we've turned ghouls into isn't wrong, it's just different. It's different to what it should be. Now they're just another creature to bash hit points off. But we've already got them. We've got trolls, we've got goblins. They're all the same. All the creatures are appearing to be the same. The only difference is how many hit points have they got? And what do they look like? Are they gnolls with dogs' heads? Are they trolls? Are they goblins? They all look the same. They might not look the same, but they've all got the same characteristics. You bash them, you take hit points off them. They bash you, they take hit points off you. End of game. It's not what they are meant to do, and it's not what they would be best for if you're a dungeon master. Why are we overlooking such an obvious and amazing opportunity? Or are we? It does everything become standardised in the long term? Is that just the way of the world? Are we at the mercy of the game producers? You buy a module that says that's what Ghoul does. You watch Fallout, that's what a Ghoul does. That's what a Ghoul then becomes. Maybe because I'm a historian, I get a bit wrapped up with the genuine stories behind these things, because I find them more interesting. Maybe I'm just a boring nerd. Please don't say that. You've said it, haven't you? You could have sent that in a comment if you cared about my algorithms. My algorithms need a massage. And although it might have sounded like one, it's not criticism. Games need to be standardised. Games need to be manageable. Games need to have clarity. We can't always be searching back through the ancient mythology of every race that's ever been, trying to hunt out the truth behind every single piece of mysticism. It would drive us mad. So anyway, that's the contrary to what I've just said. Playing devil's advocate now. Ooh, it's quite provoking, that, wasn't it? So I suppose on the one hand, what I'm asking you is, what do you think? Do you want everything to be predictable? Are you happy with games being manageable? Are you happy with every creature just being a biff 'em and bash 'em? Traps, they seem to be going out the equation. Puzzles to solve. It all just looks to me like you get a big weapon and you beat the Jesus out of anybody who gets in front of you, and they try to do the same to you, and there's no analytical system. There's nothing in the game where you gradually discover what this Ghoul is. He's given it on a plate, given a picture and a sort of a reference point. Oh, do you remember that guy in Fallout? Yeah, well, I'm with Dungeons and Dragons. Fallout's not part of my strange world, is it? Am I being too picky? I'm hoping you'll let me know, and I hope we'll get some diverse opinion. Do you want things to stay as they are? Do you want things to change? Do you want occasionally to challenge the concept, which is what I like? I like the thought that just sometimes you meet what your team who you're playing think is a ghoul, and they think they've got that in their heads, but it's not. It's a ghoul, and that would throw the little beggars, wouldn't it? Think how much fun you could have with that. But equally, Dungeon Masters, if you've got players who were caring to find out about these things and you're not using them, they've wasted all that effort because everything's the same. Now, if you're a historical player and you've watched this, partly to watch me descend slowly into madness, and you're thinking, oh, I knew Dungeons and Dragons was stupid, that's why I don't play it. Think on, what about this? Think on about this. What about pirates? I've been playing pirates a lot recently. Some of the team, the group, want incredibly historically accurate pirates who fight and behave like named pirates. Scenarios that can be linked to specific events. Some people want Pirates of the Caribbean and want pirates with funny hats on and scallywags coming out from the deep. Some people don't care, they just want a game. What about Robin Hood? Mythical outlaw? Or would you use a more historical, evidence-based possibility? I mean, if you base him on the reign of King John, you're probably wrong anyway. That probably wasn't the right era for the historically accurate Robin, of which there are a couple of options. What about Sharp? You Napoleonic people don't think you're getting away with anything here. What about Sharp, the Bernard Cornwell guy? What do you reckon? You know, heroic loner. Like, he seems to get shot in every episode, but he doesn't die of anything. My belief of being shot in Napoleonic battles was you were pretty much going to have something chopped off and probably in short order snuff it. Doesn't seem to happen to Sharp. He gets beat up in a number of episodes and seems bright as rain. Does it matter? Does it matter? So do we follow the rules we've inherited? Do we care? Do we change? What would you do? What are your ghouls going to be like in the future? What are your ghouls like now? What are your ghouls like now? Because you might have already sorted this nonsense out. I might be preaching to the converted. Think about elves, dwarves. What are your dwarves like? Are they like dwarves in Narnia, or are they like Scandinavian Norse dwarfs? Your elves, are they British elves like red caps? Are they little teeny weeny things like in the Moon of Gomrath? 6 foot blonde hair, you know, like or are they from The Witcher? What? We do it with everything. Why don't we do it with ghouls? We don't. Why don't we do it with trolls? Why aren't we doing it with dragons? Because my experience, and I can only speak from my experience, is we aren't. Some things get a very rounded treatment in the world of gaming, and some things don't. And I just think we should be asking ourselves why. The answer might be because everyone's happy. You just made a video about nothing, you stupid idiot. And I take that on board and I accept the reprimand. But there might be one person who goes, I'll have a think. And that'd be nice as well, because I'm all about making people have a think. So, you know what? Ta-ra, Chuck.